Hey everybody, so it's that time of year when fireworks start to become available in supermarkets. And whilst I always suggest that if you have a specialist all year round firework retailer near you, you visit them because you'll get better value for your money, many people still like to buy fireworks from their local supermarket. So in this video, let's take a look at what's available in Aldi this year. So according to their website, there are 14 fireworks available in Aldi's range this year, which is actually 2 less than last year when they had 16 items, and they're included on their website under sport and leisure items. Yeah, I don't know. They're not available to buy, of course, online. You can only buy them in store. But let's go through what's available. So first off, the 10-inch sparklers from CT Pyro. Now, if you've not heard of CT Pyro before, CT stands for Chestnut Trading. They're an umbrella group that includes a number of different brands, most notably TNT. And all the fireworks here on Aldi's website are listed as CT Pyro, with the exception of one, Sky Shatterer, which is listed under TNT Fireworks, but for all intents and purposes, they are one and the same brand. So last year, Aldi had 2 different types of sparklers available to purchase. The 10-inch sparklers, which are available again this year at the same price, but also last year they had the giant gold sparklers available for £1.99. Obviously, I'm guessing they didn't sell as well as the 99p sparklers, so those giant ones have been dropped for this year. So Aldi are only selling 1 packet of sparklers this year. So they're 10-inch. And there's 12 in a pack, and they cost 99p, which is actually pretty good. I did a video the other day on what's available firework-wise in Lidl, and their sparklers were double that price. So if you're looking for sparklers out of Aldi and Lidl, Aldi are your cheaper option this year. Next up, let's look at another product that isn't available this year in Aldi and has been substituted for something else. This year, there's a new barrage called Colour Cauldron. Now, I think this replaces the Razzle Dazzle barrage, which was a 12-shot barrage, which was actually pretty decent. That's been available for the past few years at $5.99. This is Colour Cauldron at $6.99. It's 31 shots, and the effects are described as crackling and sparkling, and a crackle roar finale of silver darting bees and red tails. So let's take a look at the video that Aldi have put out for this. Yeah, so it's basically a colour pearl cake. There's a bit of blue in there, some purple. And yes, there is a little finale there of glittering, strobing bees. So it only lasts 19 seconds, so not a great duration, but for $6.99, it's not bad. Now, you can get small colour pearl cakes that have like 96 shots available from specialist retailers for a similar kind of price. So value-wise, it's not great for £7, but I might be tempted to take a punt at this if I was buying fireworks from Aldi this year. Whilst we're looking at cakes, let's look at the next one up in the price range that's available in Aldi this year, and that's Uproar. This one is £19.99, but it's 130 shots, producing lovely tailing red, silver and green comet tails with crackling and blinking strobing effects, according to the description, and the finale is a crisp red, white and gold tailing burst effects. So let's take a look at the video they've put out for this and let's see what we think. So the colours in this look nice and saturated, nice and vivid. Again, this is the China video, so it could have been tweaked a little bit. Oh, there are some bangs in there. Oh, there are actually some breaks. Interesting, I thought this would just be a pearl cake, a bit like the Colour Cauldron we've seen, but actually this is a bit bigger. There's some strobing bursts in that. They look a decent size burst from the video, and some crackling as well. And that lasts 38 seconds, so close to 40 seconds for £20. It's a little on the expensive side, but I was a little bit surprised there were some breaks in there. I thought that was just going to be little pearls and comet tails, but no, there were some strobing breaks in there as well. So that's Uproar. The next cake up as we ascend in price at Aldi is Sky Shatterer. This is the one that's listed on their websites as being by TNT Fireworks, whereas all the rest are CT Pyro. This is 63 shots. And it's described as a multitude of various breaking colour bursts, including red, green, purple, gold and white. Falling rain effects with a finale of gold brocade roaring crackles. So 63 shots, £30. Let's have a look at the video for this. So there's a little bit of strobing in there. There's a bit of colour. Bursts are not amazingly symmetrical. The pace does seem to be picking up a little bit here, doesn't it? So it's not the same pace all the way through, which is nice to see. Okay, so that was Sky Shatterer, lasting about 42 seconds, so only a few seconds more than Uproar. But the price tag of this is £30. I'm going to say that's a little on the expensive side for what this is. Yeah, there's a bit of mix of colour in there, but overall there's nothing that exciting. But for £30, yeah, not amazing value there. Sky Shatterer as well, the price this year £29.99, last year only £24.99. So it's actually increased by £5 this year at Aldi. All the other fireworks that have been available last year have stayed the same price, but Sky Shatterer has increased by £5 for 2025. Next up is Lightning Force. This is 132 shots, rapid firing of strobe stars, flashing before they explode into blinking, and flashing gold, green, and various bright blues and reds. Finale has a beautiful gold willow cascade that seems to hang and roar in the sky, apparently. So this lasts between 1 minute 30 and 1 minute 40, apparently. So good duration, 132 shots. Let's take a look at the video that Aldi have put out for this. So some nice strobing effects in there that last fairly well. They've got a decent enough hang time on them, decent enough duration on them. Kind of just red at the moment. Some sizzling comets, that's nice, but again just red. Not seeing a lot of colour variety in here at the moment. There's a bit of, there you are, there's a bit of pinky purple in there, some crackle. Straight firing, where it would have been nice to perhaps see some of this fanned. And there we go, we've got a bit of a colour change now, some green. And some bluey kind of purple in there. So okay, yeah, there is a bit of mixing colour in here, but it's kind of in sections. Plenty of crackle in here. More crackle. See, those shots would have been really nice fanned rather than all going vertically, I think. And then this seems to be very similar to how the cake started, so are the effects just repeating now? We finally got away from the crackle, there we go. Some nice glitter tails on those shots. Oh, and there we go, the crackle's back. And there's the golden brocades at the end. So the video actually lasts 1 minute 59 seconds. But according to the description, this firework should last anywhere between 1 minute 30 and 1 minute 40. So potentially it's going to fire a little bit faster than in that video. It is a shame it's not fanned, because I think that would have really added something to this. At £40 for something that lasts, well, anywhere between 1.5 minutes and 2 minutes, yeah, it's... For the duration, it's okay. Effects-wise, there was quite a bit of repetition in there, and as I say, it's a shame it wasn't fanned. But that's Lightning Force, $39.99 from Aldi. And the biggest of the barrages, the cakes available from Aldi, is the Boss at $49.99, so £50. And it's described as a whopping 138 shots of breathtaking aerial effects and colour for a truly stunning visual. Well, we'll see if it is in the video in a minute. Produces a multitude of effects such as red and green sparkling strobe fans, screeching and darting spinning tails, stunning red and green and gold, with surrounding blinking and erupting mines. Also, there might be some mine effects in here. Fans of green and red. So I'm not seeing a lot of colour in here, green and red basically at the moment, a little bit of gold maybe. Climaxing in a staggering firing of 2 huge multicolour fans, brocades of gold palm bursts that burst within a burst. Okay, so that's the marketing for it. This is the boss. I don't know how long this is going to last either, but let's have a look at the video for this. So some fairly thick comet tails at the start, with a bit of a mix of colour in there. A few with crackling tails. But they look quite bright, those tails. It's a shame it's not fan firing. Okay, it's quite a lengthy section here of these comet tail pearls. We've already had 30 seconds of them. Hopefully this is going to do something else. 40 seconds of these now. $50 of these. Ah, here we go. Right, we're now finally a minute in. We've got some breaks. Some brocades, yeah, they've got a decent hang to them. And there is some colour in there. And of course more crackle. Ah, we do have a fan section. Well, why couldn't the first section be a bit fanned as well? Rather than a minute of straight firing comets. Now these are slightly bigger breaks. The strobes have a good duration to them. And some fan breaks as well, that's nice. And a final volley of brocades. So 1 minute 42 is how long that video lasted, but for the first minute it's just straight firing comets, which are actually relatively inexpensive. So you're paying £50 for a first minute of just effects that you can get from small cakes, a bit like that first colour cauldron, which was $6.99 and gave you 20 seconds of those anyway. So yeah, not great value based on the effects. Duration wise, 1 minute 42 is okay, but I say most of that is just straight firing comet tails. So for £50, I'm going to say that's not worth it. So those are the individual cakes barrages that are available from Aldi this year. They also have 2 rocket packs available, Hawkeye at $9.99 and Skymaster at $19.99. The Hawkeye pack contains 10 rockets, described as red and green and yellow stars to darting silver fish and blue glittering and crackling stars. So let's take a quick look at the Hawkeye rockets. Yeah, fairly small breaks on those. A little bit of crackling there, a little bit of colour. Oh, a nice strobing one there. Yeah, that strobing one had a decent duration on the strobes. Yeah, I'm going to say that the strobing ones are reasonable in here. Crackle one's a bit short-lived. Yeah, the crackle one's not as good. The strobe one's reasonable. $9.99 for 10 of those, so effectively £1 a rocket is not bad value actually. The strobe ones in there are okay. Crackle ones are a bit short-lived. So those were the pack of Hawkeye rockets from Aldi. The other pack was Skymaster, $19.99, but for 20 rockets. So again, price per rocket is exactly the same as the Hawkeye, so £1 a rocket, but there's 20 rockets in this pack, supposedly 7 of which are giant rockets, 6 are large and 7 are medium. Those are not my definitions. I would not call these large, giant, or necessarily even medium rockets. They are small and slightly bigger than small rockets in here, but the effects described as crackling reds and greens and mixed colour flower bursts and lemon and purple star effects. So Skymaster rockets, let's take a look at these. Different coloured strobe there, some nice orangey strobes, green strobes, white strobes. And yeah, of course we've got to have some crackle as well, haven't we? Oh, little bit of a brocade on that. That looks a slightly bigger break, so I'm guessing we're up to the large rockets now. That one was short-lived, but had nice colours. Yeah, they're very short-lived, but some nice lemon, I think, in that. That was nice. Green. Two colours in that one, red and green. Red and a white strobe. Crackle one again. More crackle. There we go. So, to be fair, they're quite similar to the Hawkeye rockets. Arguably, the brakes, some of the brakes in Skymaster were a little bit bigger. So, pound for pound, they're the same price. So, I think if you were to buy a packet of rockets from Aldi, I would suggest the Skymaster ones will have slightly bigger brakes. But effects-wise, they're quite similar, aren't they, to Hawkeye, really? So those were the rockets. Finally, let's look at the selection boxes available from Aldi this year. So the smallest selection box is the Sorcerer selection box at $5.99. It contains 6 fountains, 2 Roman candles, 1 coloured aerial star, and 1 orbit wheel. So it's nice that there's a little Catherine wheel in there. 10 fireworks, nothing particularly exciting or special in there. And my experience of CT Pyro's selection boxes are they're not amazing quality. But for £6, you know, if you've got very young children, you want to do just a few fireworks for them in your back garden, this one might be one that you consider. So that's a Sorcerer at $5.99. Next up at $9.99 is Quiet Skies, which contains 17 fireworks, comprising 4 aerial sky fireworks, 1 garden wheel, 11 long-lasting performing fountains, I'm not sure how long lasting they'd be, and 1 erupting aerial ground mine, so a mine effect. Mine effects are nice to see in selection boxes because you don't see them that often, so it's nice there's one of those in there. Of course, they're very short-lived. Other than that, it's mainly fountains. It's nice there's a wheel in there, and there's a couple of tiny little Roman candles in there too. So Quiet Skies, $9.99 for 17 fireworks. So price per firework, yeah, not bad, but they're not going to be long-lasting performing fountains in here. They're going to be quite short-lived. Next up is Reach for the Stars at $19.99. I actually bought this box last year and fired it and unboxed it and reviewed it, and you'll find a link to that in the corner of the screen now. I have to say I was pretty disappointed with this box's performance. It contains 17 fireworks as well, so the same number as Quiet Skies. But interestingly, I note that the box is slightly different this year. The one I fired didn't have these 2 little single shots in. It had a set of 3 conic fountains. So still 17 fireworks in it last year. But this year, going off the box artwork, those 3 little conic fountains have been removed and been replaced by 2 shot tubes and an additional slightly taller fountain. That's actually not a bad thing because those little conic fountains, one of them, the blue one last year, was perhaps the worst performing fountain I think I've ever fired. You'll find a video to that on my channel. So it's nice that they've potentially changed that this year, but for shot tubes, nice to have a bit of variety in there. And to be fair, those little conic fountains didn't last very long anyway, so you're not losing much in duration. But I will just caveat that by saying that the box image does say contents pictured are not actual size and contents may vary. So whether we're going to get those 3 little poor performing conic fountains in this box or whether they're going to be replaced with a larger fountain and 2 shot tubes, I'm not sure. But that's what the box artwork is indicating. So not a great box. There are better selection boxes to be had for the same price from other supermarkets. Next up, Snap, Crackle and Bang at $29.99. This contains 20 fireworks, 6 multicoloured and effect erupting fountains, 1 Roman candle, 5 speedy lift colour burst rockets. I love the way they market these and make them sound better than they'll be. 1 wheel, 6 aerial multi-shots and a finale aerial mine. So this does include a couple of silver dart rockets, which is actually, I was quite surprised with last year when I fired a couple of those. They performed much better than I expected. 20 fireworks though for £30. I don't think this box is worth £30 personally, but there you go. That's Snap, Crackle and Bang from CT Pyro, available in Aldi. There are 2 more selection boxes to go at Aldi. Next up is Big Boom for £50, $49.99. and this contains 18 fireworks, so 2 less than the previous box, but it's described as a large selection of mostly aerial effects. So we're moving slightly away from the fountains and moving more towards aerial effects, supposedly, in this box. It reportedly contains 6 aerial multi-shots, 5 rockets, 6 large display fountains, and 1 wheel. So yeah, from the image, the fountains and the fireworks do look a little bit bigger. Oh, there's a colour vortex in there. Colour vortexes are pretty good, or at least they were in the past when they were made by TNT. Colour vortex is like a 60-shot Roman candle. I've been quite impressed with the performance of that, but that is going back a number of years. Nice to see that in here. It'd be interesting to see if the performance of that lives up to how it used to be under the TNT brand. So 18 fireworks, but 5 of those are rockets. So actually only 13 fireworks and 5 rockets if you look at it that way. So that's Big Boom. I'd say that's quite expensive, again, for £50. I personally wouldn't pay £50 for this box. There are better boxes to be had for the same price, if not cheaper. And Aldi's biggest selection box clocks in at £69.99, £70. It's billed as being called Phoenix Rises. The box itself says Phoenix Rising. Okay, I'm nitpicking, but there we go. Phoenix Rising, a selection box containing 27, which includes 11 aerials ranging from a single shot to 96 shots. Interesting, so there's a 96 shot cake in here. 5 larger sized rockets. Are they larger sized? Yeah, they're not. They're still quite small rockets. 10 fountains and 1 wheel. We've got a colour vortex in there again, so that's good. The fireball candle I know is very, very small. That's not a very big candle. 2 single shots in there and 5 rockets. So 27 fireworks, £70 is very expensive for what you're getting here. There are better quality fireworks, better quality selection boxes available from other brands at a much better price. So there we go. Those are the fireworks that are available this year in Aldi. Am I tempted by any of those? If I had to buy fireworks at Aldi, I might be tempted to have a punt at the Colour Cauldron at £6.99, maybe. Possibly, I might give the Uproar a go at £19.99. The rockets at £1 a rocket, you know, they're not great, but at £1 a rocket, what can you expect? They'd be fun. If I had young children that really like rockets, I might be tempted by one of the rocket packs. Sparklers, though, great value. 12 sparklers for under £1, really good. Selection boxes, based on what I fired last year in the Reach for the Stars box, I wouldn't be tempted by any of the selection boxes here in Aldi this year, I'm afraid. But what do you think? What are your picks from Aldi this year? Why not let me know in the comments? Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, why not check out my channel, which is all about fireworks.